everybody. Welcome to Matt's Metal Show. And today we're going to be talking about Scorpions. Yes, Scorpions, the German metal fucking band. It's just, ow! I was looking around, I was like, I just did my Queensryche, and I was like, fuck, who else am I going to do? And then I was like, dude, how come I haven't done the Scorpions? Or Scorpions. The Scorpions. I'm going to call them the Scorpions because Scorpions is weird. Everybody always goes, oh, the Scorpions. I love the Scorpions. It's actually just Scorpions. Whatever. Don't really give a fuck. There are 19 fucking studio albums. Now, one of them is weird. Well, actually, there's a few of them that are weird, but one of them is really just like, it's called Moment of Glory. It came out in 2000, and it was like them and like an orchestra where they kind of redid some songs. I included it here because it's a fucking studio album. Let's talk about the Scorpions, or Scorpions. Started way back in 1970, whatever the fuck. Like, and originally it was, Rudy Schenker's band, Klaus Meine, Rudy Schenker, and Michael Schenker. Michael Schenker's Rudy's younger brother, and Michael was in the band when he was like, honestly, he was 14 when he started, and I think he was 16 when he recorded Lonesome Crow. And a lot of things, weird shit over the years. Michael did come back. He left because they were touring with UFO, and that was back when like UFO was still kind of this spacey, fucking weird, UFO 1 and 2 kind of fucking weird band. And then all of a sudden, they toured with them, and they asked Michael to join the band. He was like 17, maybe 18. And Michael left. He went on to play with UFO for a lot of years. Those fucking classic fucking UFO albums, starting with Phenomenon and then just moving into like fucking Force It, fucking Lights Out, and fucking Obsession. I know I'm missing one. Can't remember which one. Yeah, so Mikey bailed and he went to UFO, and then he came back in 1979 after Uli Jon Roth left the Scorpions because Uli Jon Roth replaced him. And then Uli left after Taken by Force in 79. They did the live album, or 77. They did the live album in 78, Tokyo Tapes. And even going into that album, like Uli had told the band, like, hey, I'm going to be leaving. Because he wanted to, like, go and do his Electric Sun stuff and different shit. So they were kind of looking for a guitar player. And so they picked Matthias Jabs, or some people call him Matthias Habes, or whatever the fuck. Everybody always mispronounces his names. I call him Matthias, or it could be Matthias. I call him Matthias. I've always called him Matthias, so I'm sorry. So if that's wrong, sorry, Matthias, or Matthias, or whatever the fuck your name is. They actually picked Matthias Jabs to be in the band, and he actually started recording with him. And then all of a sudden, like, Schenker, like Michael, fresh off UFO, he fucking joins the band. So they actually, like, fired Matthias. Actually fired him. You're out of here because Michael's back in that. Because let's face it, Michael Schenker, Matthias. Yeah, right. And then Michael flaked on him because Michael was going through a bunch of shit. He's a boozer and a fucking kind of mentally unstable for a lot of years. The rumor when we were kids is that Michael would do an album and then he would like check himself in a mental institution and then he would come out with another album. And I don't know how true that is, but hey, I don't like to spread rumors, but Michael came back. He recorded a couple of songs, more than a couple, off this album. on Love Drive, and then he bailed, and so they actually had to go find Matthias and be like, "Can you come back?" And he was like, "But he did." And from Love Drive on into probably 1984, some say maybe 88, maybe 1990. I don't know. It depends on what you like. But that was like the classic lineup of the Scorpions. Scorpions started off on MCA Records back, they were in Germany and shit, and MCA never did them any favors. And then once they switched over to Mercury, that's when they started getting popular in America. MCA used to put out like all these weird fucking album covers and shit, and they got a lot of shit for it. Made some bad decisions. Always trying to put something fucking outrageous on fucking album covers. Some of them got banned and they weren't even outrageous. Like Take It By Force, like little kids playing in a cemetery, and that got banned, which was kind of a head scratcher. We understand why Virgin Killers got banned. We understand why Entrance got banned. We understand, even Love Drive. MCA Records did some weird covers, but also so did Mercury. So the band always blames like the management, but you got to kind of ask yourself, like, well, that's weird because you changed record labels and you still had outrageous covers. So, but from Love Drive on, and especially up into Love for Sting, they were just getting bigger and bigger in the U.S. Love for Sting's their biggest album. It's 3 times platinum. Blackout was platinum, but it didn't go platinum until like 91. They started building up momentum, and that's kind of like the glory years of the Scorpions with the classic lineup, which was Klaus Meine on vocals, Rudy Schenker on rhythm guitar, Matthias on lead guitar, Francis Buchholz from the bass player. That made no sense. Francis Buchholz, or Bullshoitz. I don't know how the fuck you pronounce his name. I just call him Francis. He was on bass, and he was on bass for a lot of years. He started back at Fly to the Rainbow, and so he was in there for a long time. And Herman Rarebell, the drummer. Herman the German. Ooh. And weird thing is, a lot of people don't know, Herman was a lyricist, and he actually wrote a lot of their hits. Like Another Piece of Meat, Rocky Like a Hurricane. There's a lot of Herman Rarebell pen tunes, at least lyrically. So, and that was a classic lineup. The very last album with the classic lineup was Crazy World. And then after that, Francis left. They got a new bass player. And then Herman left, and they got a new drummer. And then, over the years, it's like the only 3 steady members. And if you look at the album like Eye to Eye, the only 3 members are the 3 members on the cover of that album, which is basically Klaus, Rudy, and Matthias. So they had this, up and down career. I got into the Scorpions probably 82 with Blackout, because that was such a huge album and it was so fucking good. And we'd see the videos like on MTV and stuff. Blackout, with fucking the on the original album cover. It wasn't supposed to be Rudy Schenker. It was actually the artist that did it. It was actually him, but everybody kind of thought that was Rudy Schenker. So in the video, they actually got Rudy Schenker where he had the forks in his eyes, and it was fucking weird. Love the Scorpions. Saw him in '84 on the Love for Sting tour. And then they came out with the live album, Worldwide Live, which is a fucking great. If you want a snapshot, the fucking Tokyo Tapes album is the snapshot of the early Scorpions, and it's fucking amazing with Uli John Roth. And then the fucking Live at First, or Worldwide Live, is the fucking great snapshot of the Scorpions, the classic lineup. I can remember seeing them. They were the loudest motherfucking band. Next to Deep Purple, They were the loudest band I ever fucking heard. I was deaf for like a fucking week after I saw those guys. They were fucking loud as shit. Some of my friends said that it was at the sports arena, and they were across the street at Tower Records, and you could hear the fucking show at Tower Records across the fucking street from the sports arena. That's how fucking loud they were. I mean, fuck, dude. Ooh, but they put on a fucking spectacular show. Saw them here and there over the years. I saw them at Monsters of Rock in '88 on the Savage Amusement tour with Metallica and fucking Van Halen and Dokken and fucking Kingdom Come. Put on a fucking great show. And then I saw them years later, like in 2002. So what tour was that? 2002. I don't know. Was it the Moment of Glory tour? Not really, because they didn't bring a fucking orchestra with them. But I did see them in 2002. They opened for, they didn't open. They were like co-headlining with Deep Purple. Ronnie James Dio actually fucking opened on the Killing the Dragon tour. And they put on a hell of a show, but I just remember it was weird seeing this little blonde, weird drummer. He poured beer all over his snare drum, and he was playing it, and it was splashing up, and just not seeing Herman and Francis up there with the Scorpions, it was fucking weird, you know. So those are 3 times that I saw the Scorpions. Yeah, I saw them 3 times. They always put on a fucking great show. Klaus is like 3 feet tall. Like him and Ronnie Dio are like the same height. They're like fucking tiny, but Klaus had got a great voice. I always fucking like him. Can never understand what the fuck he said. He's like, oh, hey, what you know. Hello, San Diego! Oh, we're gonna rock you like a hurricane! Yeah, they were German. Fuck. What are you getting to? But Scorpions is that fucking one of those legacy fucking bands like Iron Maiden, like fucking Priest, that are just, they're fucking awesome. And they have a chunk of their discography is fucking amazing. So, later years, but you know, some of the later albums actually are still pretty fucking good. The thing is you didn't like when the Scorpions are almost like Motley Crue in a way, except they're better musicians. Rudy Shangers, you know. But like you didn't really come to learn anything from them. It's all about chicks. It's all about sex and drugs, or well, not drugs, but just sex. You know, these guys were definitely horny motherfuckers. In the past recent years, Michael Schenker has come out, and I guess he's in a feud with his brother. And Michael made some pretty strong accusations regarding the Scorpions. He said that even after Love Drive, his brother would hit him up, and Michael would come down and write songs for them. He didn't get any credit for it, but like, I don't know, he felt kind of bullied by his brother. And so you have to question, if you look at the success of the Scorpions, really started with fucking Love Drive and kind of ended with like maybe Savage Amusement. That's when they were their biggest, just like in that era between 79 and 88. A lot of the a lot of the stuff sounds a lot like everything that came off of Love Drive that Michael wrote. So you have to kind of, I don't know what Michael, he wasn't like trying to gain anything, but he was just saying like, I'm done with my brother. You know, when they did that fucking Return to Forever tour, I want to say, where they invited everybody back, like Michael and fucking Yuli and all the guys back. I think that's where that started, because Michael's like, eh. So, according to Michael, he wrote like a ton of that shit. Now, if you listen to Blackout, and you listen to fucking Love Drive, and you listen to fucking Love It for Sting, those albums all sound very fucking familiar, and you gotta ask yourself, maybe fucking Michael did write them, and if he did, like, that's kind of weird. He should at least get credit for it. But I guess, you know, I always looked at Rudy Schenker like that guy, but if you look at all the albums, he wrote all the fucking music, so you have to kind of like, is Rudy Schenker a great guitar player? No. He's a rhythm guitar player. He's a fucking power chord fucking rhythm guitar. Down to down to down to down down to down to down. Scorpions were never this complex band. They were when Yuli was in the band, but if you look at Yuli wrote a lot of his own songs, and I think that was where the kind of the riff was because the main songwriters was Main and Schenker, Klaus and Rudolph, and then Yuli was out here writing his own shit, and they kind of meshed it together. And I think that's one of the reasons why Yuli wanted to leave the band because he was just like, well, dude, I'm gonna write my own shit because I'm a phenomenal guitar player. Because we just saw Yuli a couple years ago at a little club here in San Diego. And he's still fucking amazing. And I've met him at the NAMM show a bunch of times. Nicest fucking dude in the fucking universe. Fucking amazing guitar player. Like he's so mellow and he's all Jimi Hendrix. He's wearing a little headband. Well, mostly because he's gone bald, but and the shit that he plays that you're just like, it's unreal. You want to hear where Yngwie stole all that shit from, like in the beginning? Yuli fucking John Roth. Dude, there's the Alcatraz song Jet to Jet. Listen to that. And there's a middle part of it, and he fucking just straight up rips off fucking Yuli John Roth. So let's get to the fucking Scorpions, man. Like I said, there's 19 fucking studio albums. I'm going to rank them from my least favorite to my favorite. So let's get fucking started. And we're going to start with number 19, which is Moment of Glory from 2000. It's the Scorpions with the Berlin Philharmonic. It's weird. It's like a studio album. Now, I know they released like a video of them, of this performance, but I don't believe it's the same. I believe this was recorded in the fucking studio. So, bunch of retooled songs with a couple of like new songs like Moment of Glory. There was a thing around like when Metallica fucking came out with S&M that kind of rejuvenated that let's play with a symphony shit. Kiss did it, you know. We know fucking Deep Purple did it like 100 years ago. But it kind of rejuvenated. Yngwie went and did too, and these are pretty amazing because it's, you know, straightforward. And then the Scorpions did it in 2000. They said, let's go fucking record with a fucking Philharmonic. They do Hurricane 2000, which is Rocky Like a Hurricane with a fucking symphony behind it. There's some cool moments on here. Winds of Change is amazing. Crossfire, the instrumental is cool. Deadly Sting Suite is fucking cool. Like, the instrumental shit is cool. They do Still Loving You. It's not something that I reach for. It's like, oh, Scorpions playing with a fucking orchestra. Okay, so that's kind of why it's on the bottom of the list. So that's number 19. Moment of Glory from 2000. Right. Number 18, I'm going to go 1996 is Pure Instinct. The cover's weird. It's super cheesy, kind of weird, kind of naked family stuck in a cage with a bunch of animals. By 1996, I had lost utter fucking, like, even inkling of listening to the fucking Scorpions. So this album was kind of like one of those albums that you're like, oh, I don't even know what the fuck that is. Listened to it a couple times. But the Best for You is a cool song, and When You Came Into My Life is a cool song. It's not a bad, terrible album. It's just not exciting. It's, yeah, got some naked instinctual family on the cover, which is like, okay, it's fucking weird. Not an album I spent a lot of time with. And probably because, like, when I listen to it, and I've listened to it a couple times, there's nothing on there that just blows me away. But then there's nothing on any Scorpions album of recent times that you're just like, holy fucking shit. So, Yeah, 1996 period stick. That's going to be number 18. Number 17. Bow, ba, bow, ba, bow. It's going to be Face the Heat from 1993. And that's the last album with like Herman Rarebell on it. It's kind of a heavy album. It's got, like this heaviness to it. But it was kind of in that weird period. It was right after Crazy World was pretty successful. And there was a lot of years in between. It was 3 years in between that, which is kind of long for the Scorpions at that time. There's nothing fucking amazing on this album. Like, the opening track, Alien Nation, like, you kind of want to like it. The production's a little muddled, kind of weird, and it's really heavy. The song's like No Pain, No Gain, Under the Same Sun, Taxman Woman. Oh. The album ends with Daddy's Girl, and I don't even want to fucking know, right? It's another one of those middle period fucking Scorpions album that just went completely off my radar. Now, I own everything they have, but I don't tend to like go, oh, fuck, dude, I need to go put on Face the Heat from the fucking Scorpions, like, right now. That never happens. Just, like, after Crazy World, and this is a bad thing about the Scorpions, after Crazy World, where they got kind of hooked up with song doctors and shit like that, and they started to, like, lose their way. And that's where you kind of got to ask yourself, maybe they lost their way because Michael Schenker wasn't helping them out anymore, too. So, there seemed to be, like, some deception going on in the Scorpions camp, where, like, who's really writing the fucking songs? And then they started getting into, like, song doctors and shit, and then these producers, and they were doing all this fucking shit, and you really started to, like, they really started to lose their way. And then you got albums like this where you're just like, is this a Scorpions album? I don't really know. It didn't really feel that way, so. That was number 17. Number 16, speak of the motherfucking devil. We're going to go Crazy World. Crazy World! 1990 Crazy World. The thing about Crazy World is it was pretty fucking successful for them, wasn't it? Let's see. It went 2 times platinum in America. Worldwide, sold like 7 million copies. It's pretty good. Crazy World was produced by Keith Olsen and the Scorpions. Ooh. Jim Valance wrote a bunch of fucking songs. Fucking Scam Likely, motherfuckers. I hate these assholes. Fuck you. Boom. Blocked. When Jim Valance starts writing songs for you, that's the problem. And so what happened was MTV by this time was big. In 1990, it was like kind of almost on the downside of MTV. But they came out with this fucking song called Wind of Change. And this is right around the time where all the shit was going on in Russia and like the Berlin Wall and all that fucking shit. And it was a weird time to be alive, man, because it was like growing up when you were a kid, you were like bred to hate Russia and they were bred to hate us. And then all of a sudden, like, we started peeling back. They started peeling back, and like they started getting music into the fucking, people started touring into fucking Russia and shit. And the Berlin Wall came down, and Wind of Change was that fucking song that was like the fucking soundtrack for all that shit, like the end of the Cold War. Follow the Moskva down to Gorky Park, feeling on the winds of changes. Now, the only reason this is even number 16 is because of fucking Winds of Change. Because without Winds of Change, I fucking hate this album. It's fucking bullshit. As Tease Me, Please Me. Don't Believe Her. To Be With You in Heaven. Kicks After Six. Lust or Love. Hit Between the Eyes. Money and Fame. Like, this album is fucking bullshit. It's fucking MTV Jim Valance fucking song doctor bullshit. It was popular for them only because of Wind of Change. And it's funny because Wind of Change was like the third fucking single off this album. That wasn't smart. And they probably could have rolled through this motherfucker if they would have, put that out first. But this is fucking like, we all know Keith Olsen, fucking, he did Queen and shit, right? Pretty sure. The production on it's not terrible, but dude, when you start hooking up with Jim Valance or Desmond Child or that fucking chick that's like whatever, I can't remember her fucking name, but she wrote a bunch of Aerosmith songs. This is right around that Aerosmith fucking Sold Their Soul time where they're fucking putting out Pump and shit, and it was all fucking written by other people, and you're like John Kalodner, whatever. Yeah, this album, this Wind of Change is the shining bright spot on this album. The rest of it is like, it's fucking bullshit. It's not even fucking Scorpions, man. It's just all fucking song doctors. So I hate this fucking album. So that's Crazy World at number 16, even though it went 2 times platinum. Jim Valance, whatever. In 2004, we're going to go, number 15 is going to be Unbreakable from 2004. Kind of a late era Scorpions album. It's cool. It's kind of heavy. The opening song's good. New Generation. Borderline. It's all right. Blood Too Hot. There's a couple of cool songs on here. Mine has the Remember the Good Times, the retro garage mix. It's an all right album. But, like, at this point, in 2004, you're like, I don't even know who the fuck's playing on this fucking album. It's like, who's the bass player? Let's see. Powell. Powell, whatever the fuck his last name is. I saw, this is the band that I saw. And then James Kotak, or whatever the fuck his name is. He's that blonde guy that was spilling beer all over his fucking drum kit. Powell is from, like, Poland or something, right? Yeah, he's a Polish bass player. He's pretty cool. He's pretty kind of interesting. It's not Francis Bolshows, but then Francis Bolshows would just kind of stand there and, whatever. So, it's a cool album. It's nothing fucking stellar, but it's definitely better than fucking Crazy World. But like I said, some of these later era fucking Scorpions albums, they're not that fucking exciting. I don't go through the track listing and go, oh man, My City, My Town is like, I love that fucking song. It's more like, meh, it's alright. It's alright. The only cool thing is that by this time, because no one cares about them, that they couldn't have song doctors anymore. So actually Matthias started writing songs, which is cool. Shanker, even the drummer, Can You Feel It? Even the drummer wrote a fucking song on this. Fucking James Kotak or whatever his name is. That's fucking cool. They were kind of on their own because, like, that's what happens, like, once the party ends and they're like, you're left for fucking dead. The record company's like, left for dead, dude. You're on your own. You still have a record contract, but Desmond Child's not walking through the door. He has other fucking people to fuck up. Fuck that guy. Hate fucking Desmond Child. Fuck him. Jim Valance always writes with Bryan Adams. They're like a songwriting crew. So I'm surprised Bryan Adams wasn't on that fucking Crazy World album. Oh, that's shocking. Yeah, so that's Unbreakable, number 15 from 2004. The next album gets a ton of shit, or actually, The people who have actually heard it, they give it a bunch of shit, and then most people just they don't even know what the fuck it is. So I'm gonna go 1999, and I'm gonna go Eye to Eye. Has that weird cover where Rudy's got his little bleached hair and he's like doing this, and like Matthias and Klaus are just making fucking weird faces. I remember I had this album for a lot of years, and I never fucking listened to it. And then one day I was like, I think I went through and like reviewed every one of their fucking albums, and I got to this, and I started listening to it, and I was like, what the fuck is this? But then, like, as I started listening to it, it's got all these weird beats and sounds like dance music. It's got all this fucking weird shit going on, but it's actually pretty fun. So if you can like kind of take yourself out of your serious mode and just fucking listen to it for what it is, it's actually a really fun album. Mysterious is fucking great, the opening track. To Be Number One is a fucking great song. Mind Like a Tree is fucking cool. Eye to Eye, the title track, is fucking great. Freshly Squeezed and Aaliyah. Those are the fucking songs. There's 14 songs on here, so it's a ton of fucking music. But if you could like, I was watching, and a shout out to fucking Mick Watkins, because he like hit me up this morning. I was watching his review of KK's Priest, because I did my review of KK's Priest, and it was funny because at the end of like where he was talking about KK's Priest, because he went into it hating it just like I did, because I think it's like a juvenile stab at Judas Priest because KK's pissed because they won't let him back in the band. Because originally the band wasn't called KK's Priest, it was like called like KK's Sawmill or Steel Mill or some shit like that. And then he changed it to KK's Priest because he was like, fuck Judas Priest. You know, because they wouldn't let him back in the band after Glenn left, so he was all mad. And I thought that was juvenile, and that kind of teened me a little bit on that album. But I listened to the album, and I didn't see it was a bad album. I said it's fun to listen to, but it's kind of dumb. And it's kind of like cliche, man. All the lyrics, you know, it's a bunch of rock, we are metal to the bone, and all this fucking shit. But I was watching Mick, and Mick's like, wow! You know, I can't do it because my voice is shot out right now. But he was saying, like, I love fucking cliche like that because it's fucking metal. Metal's supposed to be fun. And I kind of like, I said, I like cliche fucking metal shit too, you know? I mean, we all do. There's fucking songs that we grew up with that are totally fucking cliche, and they're totally fun. Looks Like Kill for Motley, almost anything for Motley Crue. You know, fucking Balls to the Wall for McSat. Fucking Scorpions. Jesus. Rock You Like a Hurricane, that's the most cliche fucking rock metal song there is. You know, you hear that, you're just like, yeah. So I kind of took that to heart, like, oh, well, and like I said it was a fun album, because it's a fun album to listen to, but it's not like anything that you're like, holy fuck. It's just like been done a million fucking times. But it's fun. It's 2021, man. The world's a scary place. You know, it's fun to have, like the AC/DC album. That would be another cliche fucking rock band. AC/DC is the most cliche fucking band in the world. So, same with the Scorpions, man. They're fucking cliche. But this album, they kind of stepped out of being cliche and did something completely fucking different. Now, nobody paid attention. This album didn't do shit. But it was fun, man. It's a cool album to like pop on and just like be like, wow, this is fucking trippy. But it's fun, man. So sometimes you just gotta understand that you gotta lighten up a little bit and just listen to shit for what it is and say, hey, this is fucking fun. It's like throwing on a Poison album. I'm not a huge Poison fan, but every once in a while, I'll fucking throw on like Flesh and Blood or fucking, you know, Open Up and Say Ah, and just listen to and remember back to like 85 or 86, you know, where you're just like, yeah, this is party rock, man. Fucking listen to Kiss is cliche. Every fucking band, rock metal band at some point was like cliche shit. So, Eye to Eye, that's number 14 from 1999. Fucking listen to it. It's fucking cool, man. It's got all this. It's got all this fucking loops and shit on it. It's fucking great, though. Woo! All right, let's go to one of the kind of early era. We're going to go number 13. My voice is shot out. We're going to go to Fly to the Rainbow. And that's the first album, 1974. That's the first album with Uli John Roth. It's got Jurgen Rosenthal as the fucking drummer. And it's the first album with Francis Bolsholos. Bolsholos? Whatever. Bullshit. First album with Francis. First album with Uli. Obviously, because Shanker left the band, and then obviously, like the bass player and the fucking drummer off fucking Lonesome Crow. I don't know what the fuck happened to those guys. Blueberry. I'm turning into a blueberry. Fly to the Rainbow. It's got Speed is Coming. Can't sing today. Very good. It's got Speed is Coming. It's got They Need a Million, and They Need a Million, and They Need a Million More. It's got the title track is fucking long and cool. It's fucking trippy. Now the cover of this has got that dude with the little propellers on his feet, and he's holding up the banner. It's fucking weird as shit. Even like I remember seeing an interview with like Uli where he's like, I have no idea what the fuck that was. It wasn't a scantily clad fucking woman, so they didn't really care. Or a prepubescent fucking teenager fucking naked on their cover. Fly the Rainbow's cool. It's that first Uli era album. So it's kind of experimental. You know, the first album was really kind of spacey and kind of, you know, didn't really know where they were going. This one, they started to tighten up a little bit. With like Speedy's Coming, They Need a Million, those songs. But still have that kind of proggy, kind of weird fucking Space Jam, fucking rainbow, weird shit going on. So it's a cool album, but it's not really one I grab a lot. Obviously, it's like my least rated Uli John Roth era album. So, number 13, Fly to the Rainbow from 1974. Number 12, I'm going to go a recent album, 2015. It's actually their last album. They're supposed to be coming out with an album next year, like February 11th. And it's called, what is it called? It's called Rock Believer. Yeah. I don't know who the fuck comes up with their album titles, but it's funny. Return to Forever. Kind of an interesting Return to Forever, right? I wonder what the band Return to Forever. Well, Chick Corea is dead now, so guess they didn't really care. This is one of the later period albums where, like, Scorpions were supposed to quit at some point. I think it was on this tour that they were like, this was supposed to be like their final tour, or Sting in the Tail was supposed to be their final tour. I don't know. There's always been like, oh, that was supposed to be their final tour, but then, no, they're going to do this one. And I don't know if they had really bad spending habits and maybe they need some more money. I don't fucking know. I mean, Klaus Main's like 3 feet tall. He could just live in a cardboard box like comfortably. So, but this is one of those newer era old Scorpion albums. That's what it is, basically. Everything like Sting in the Tail and like Return to Forever just went straight back to like Love Drive to fucking Love It for Sting. Stayed in that vein and just give you this power chord, down fucking rock songs. And it fucking works for them because Scorpions don't need to change the fucking. They already did, you know, and it wasn't successful. So fuck it. Go back to what your fans loved Motley Crue, 100 bands that I can name. Go back to your fucking standard, your fucking base, your fucking bedrock of what cemented you as a fucking stellar band. It's cool to like reach out and do other things. Black Sabbath was always fucking like doing stuff, and sometimes it worked, Sabotage, and sometimes it didn't, Technical Ecstasy. So, Scorpions did a lot of experimentation, Eye to Eye, even fucking like, all their later albums, Pure Instinct, Face the Heat, shit like that. They were always trying to like do something different, but it didn't really work. So they kind of went back to the formula. They're like, well, let's see, what was the last time anybody gave a fuck about us? Oh, that would have probably been like 1988. Why? Oh, because our songs were basic, and memorable, and they had fun lyrics. That was it. So fuck it, let's do it. So that's kind of why I rank this higher than some of the other shit that came before it. Like Going Out with a Bang is a great song. We Built This House. All for One. Eye of the Storm's cool. Crazy Ride. The only thing is, there's 19 fucking songs on this fucking album. 19 fucking songs? Holy Jesus. You're like, when the fuck? Who wrote all this shit, too? Do I have the deluxe edition? I must. Yeah, apparently I have the deluxe edition because it adds 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Added 7 songs onto it. So originally the album was 12 songs, ended with Gypsy Life. Let's see who's on here. Martin Haynes? Who the fuck is that? Rock and roll. Still's got Powell. Still got the fucking like unbreakable fucking lineup. Looks like there's some outside help, right, in some of these songs. I don't see any Michael Schenker credit. Some of this stuff would probably have come from shit they pulled out of the archives. And I think that's what they've been doing kind of for the last 2 albums, is just kind of pulling shit like that they may have been working on like a lot of years ago, and they're like, oh, let's fucking dust that off and see. Like Van Halen did with A Different Kind of Truth. They went to the Wolfgang went to the archives and dusted off She's So Hot and said, like, or She's a Woman, and said, like, hey, let's try this. And I think that's what the Scorpions are doing. They're just kind of like gathering stuff up and saying, well, let's go back to the shit that was fucking cool. Or the shit that we can manipulate and maybe like make it sound cool. So this is a solid fucking album. It's nothing spectacular, but it's like going back to like an old friend, It's like putting on an old comfortable jacket. It's like, oh, cool. I had no expectations for this album. I had no expectations for Sting in the Tail, and I was pleasantly surprised by both of them. Because fuck, it felt like Power Up from fucking AC/DC, that last AC/DC album, or even Rock or Bust. It felt like, wow, I'm home. I fucking put on this fucking AC/DC album, not expecting shit, and I was pleasantly surprised that this is a fucking solid album and it's fun. It's a fun album to listen to. So that was the other thing, is like Return to Forever. At first I thought, wow, did fucking Al Di Meola join the fucking Scorpions? Oh, that'd be interesting. Fucking Al Di Meola. Yeah! I can tell a funny little Al Di Meola. We went and saw Al Di Meola. Me and my bro George. We saw everybody knows who Al Di Meola is. He was in Return to Forever. He's a fucking jazz guitar player. He's fucking amazing. All us little metalheads, we were all like into, like Steve Vai fucking loves Al Di Meola. He's fucking friends with him. You know, all the really great guitar players, they all know who the fuck Al Di Meola is. So he was playing at the Balboa Theater downtown, and we got tickets. And I remember the rumor was like, oh, this is the last like electric tour he's gonna do because he has all these fucking hearing problems from fucking playing fucking loud fucking music for all these years. So he's been kind of moving towards acoustical shit. So the rumor was, if you were gonna go see Al Di Meola, this was the fucking last point, that you were gonna see any of the electric stuff live. So we go. It's a little theater, and it was fucking cool as shit. And he comes out. He's kind of an asshole, because it's Al Di Meola. It was he had this little guy with him that would come out and hand him sheet music and shit. And he was kind of being a douche to him. And the drums were like behind this fucking plexiglass. They were trying to tone down the amount of noise that was on the stage because I guess Al's hearing is fucked up. So, anyways, we're watching the show and they're doing all this fucking shit from like fucking Land of the Midnight Sun or fucking Elegant Gypsy and fucking Casino and all these fucking great jazz fucking Al Di Meola albums that we grew up with. That we're like, yeah. At the end of the show, he says, I want everybody to come up here. I'm only going to do this stuff if you guys all come up here. So we all go to the front, and being crazy, I get up on the stage, and I'm like standing on the side of the stage, and I'm videotaping him with my phone while he's playing fucking Race with Devil on Spanish Highway, which is... Dude, Riot covered that song. Look it up, man. Riot covered fucking Race with Devil on Spanish Highway. Al Di Meola has fucking done shit like that with Steve Vai. Fucking. So, dude, I'm seeing him on stage, and I'm like a kid. I'm like fucking recording with my phone while he's playing fucking Race with Devil in Spanish. He's like looking at me too, and I'm just like, holy shit. And then this fucking bouncer guy is like, you hear it in the video. It's on my Facebook. It's funny as shit. He goes, hey, you can't be up there. And I go, oh, well, he told us to come up. And he's like, well, you can't be on the stage. And I was like, okay. Holy shit. So, my Al Di Meola story. I don't know how the fuck that got in the middle of fucking Scorpions album. Oh, because Return to Forever. So anyways, Return to Forever. Let's get back to that album. Dude, it's a solid album. It's fun. You just pop it on, listen to it, kind of like take your head off and just be like, yeah, this is fun. Rock and roll band. They do fucking, it's a cool fucking album. So, that's number 12. Return to Forever from 2015. All right. Number 11. I was bred to fucking hate this album because I fucking hate Desmond Child. But I can't deny this fucking album. So, in 2007, they came out with this album called Humanity, Hour 1. Humanity, Hour 1. It's a concept album about this futuristic whatever. And the idea was Desmond Child and fuck, what's that guy's name? It was based on a loose storyline by Desmond Child and futurist Liam Cart. So right away, see now, I didn't know that. This was one of those Scorpions albums that I never had. I actually just bought this like last year, I think it was. And I remember I was looking around. I looked at my discographies complete, So I remember I was looking around and I was like, oh, I never bought that fucking album. I bought it and I started listening to it. I was like, wow, this is a fucking cool album. It's fucking like kind of hard, kind of industrial. It's got a bunch of weird sounds and shit. It's kind of cool as shit. Kind of weird, kind of future-y. And then I looked up the background and I was like, fuck! Fucking Desmond Child? Yep, it's fucking Desmond Child. What are you gonna do, you know? So, fuck it. Scorpions come out with this album. I don't know if this was trying to rejuvenate them or whatever, because usually Desmond Child doesn't roll into a band unless they're successful or they have the potential to be hugely successful. Aerosmith. You're my yeah. Thank you, Desmond Child. Fucker. I think he helped write Dude Looks Like a Lady, didn't he? I don't know. It's got the intro, hour one, and it's fucking cool as shit. It's got the Game of Life, which is a good fucking song. It's got We Were Born to Fly. It's got 321. And it's got The Cross. Those are my 5 favorite songs on this 12-song album. It's a fucking cool thing. It's a fucking concept album, so, you know, you gotta be in a frame of mind. But, even though it's fucking Desmond Child, why it's fucking number 11. So, ow! Humanity, hour 1. All right, let's get into number 10. Number 10, we're going to go with the debut for Lonesome Crow. Lonesome Crow with Michael Schenker. He was fucking 16 on this album. Lonesome Crow. Do, do, do. Boom, boom, boom. It was recorded soon after the Scorpions became a fully professional band under the production of Connie Plank. And it was recorded in 6 or 7 days. Wow. Originally released on February 9th, 1972 in West Germany as the soundtrack to a German anti-drug movie, Das Katy Paradies? I don't know. And then it wasn't released in America until May of 1973. He was 16 when they recorded this fucking album. So they recorded this album in October of 1971. He was 16. He soon left to join UFO and replaced by Uli Jon Roth. This is a fucking weird album because, you know, for a lot of years, none of us had this fucking album. People call it Lonesome Crow and Lonesome Crow. Crow. It's a fucking bird, right? You know, it's got a little scorpion hand. I can remember, this is probably one of the last Scorpions albums I ever bought. Because nobody really wanted to go back that far. I had all the Uli Jon Roth stuff. I can even remember buying fucking Fly to the Rainbow at Tower Records. It was in the shit bin for like a nickel. But Lonesome Crow was never there because Lonesome Crow was like out of print, you know? And that was the thing. So for a lot of years, this album was hard to get. And so none of us had it. Even as kids, we were just like, and nobody really cared because even though there was the legend of Michael Schenker, you know, we weren't going to go fork out a bunch of money in the import section to try and buy this shit. So, years later, I bought it. I listened to it. It's fucking cool for what it is. It's kind of dark, gloomy, space rocky, proggy, weird shit. It's got I'm Going Mad, which is a cool song. It All Depends is cool. In Search of Peace of Mind. And Lonesome Crow. The title track is 13 minutes, 30 seconds long. So it's kind of meandering. This is great for what it is. Especially when you think that fucking Michael Schenker was 16 when he recorded this. If you listen to it and you're like, I mean, it's 1972 and it's hippie, jibey, weirdy, fucking dark German fucking rock. But he was 16. Fuck. It's a fucking cool album. Is it a great album? No, but it's fucking there's at least 4 or 5 really good songs on there. You just got to be in a frame of mind. I don't reach for it a lot. That's why it's number 10. I don't reach for it a lot, but Lonesome Crow. Number 9, this will shock some people maybe. I don't know. Not really, maybe. I mean, if you're a fucking Scorpions fan, then you'll be on board with this. I'm going to go 1980 Animal Magnetism. Hypnosis cover where it's the guy standing there, he's got his hand in his back pocket, the chick's looking up at him, and there's a Doberman sitting next to her. And a lot of people tripped on this album cover. Yeah, it was probably Hypnosis. A lot of people tripped on the album cover, but I don't even know. It said it courted controversy. However, unlike several of their previous albums, the controversy never resulted in a cover change. So I don't know what the controversy is. If you're offended by that album cover, then you're the fucking deviant, not them, because there's really nothing going on. It's all up to interpretation. So if you interpret it as something fucked up, whatever, that's on you, not on them. I thought that was a brave album cover because it was like Hypnosis. Okay, let's do this. It's called Animal Magnetism. And then we'll see what people fucking trip on. And people tripped on it, but you would need to explain to me, why are you fucking tripping on it? It's like a Doberman, a chick, and a dude. Like, what are you tripping on? Are you get like the chick's banging the dog or some shit like that? Or like, what the fuck? What is your interpretation of it? And that's where you're the fucking deviant, not Hypnosis. So they always had something. But anyways, Animal Magnetism, 1980. It's on, it's on the heels of Love Drive. Kind of a muddy, weird fucking production. It's not fucking great. Who produced that? Dieter Dirks produced it, but it just sounds shitty, for one. And for two, it's got Make It Real. The zoo. Oh, wow. In the place we call the zoo. Wow. And then what else does it have on it? Don't make no promises your body can't keep. Hold me tight. Lady Starlight. 20th Century Man. Falling in Love. Only a Man. The title track. Only reason I rated it this high is because it's like a classic fucking album, and I listened to it a bunch. But then I stopped listening to it, and that's the thing is when it came out in 1980, I didn't get it. I was 10 years old. I got it later on when I was into the Scorpions, but this is probably the album that I least listened to because, like I said, with the exception of Make It Real in the Zoo and maybe Lady Starlight. It's a cool song, but it's not anything just blows me away. And Animal Magnetism is kind of fucking weird too. So, out of the classic lineup, this is probably their weakest album. It feels to me like fucking Point of Entry from Judas Priest. Because you gotta remember, this album is sandwiched in between Love Drive and fucking Blackout. So it's fucking weird. I don't know if they were just trying something different or what. I don't know if they were having issues. Who fucking knows? But this isn't an album I readily reach for. So that's number 9, Animal Magnetism from 1980. Cause I'm in a train. Oh no, we're not there yet. Number 8, I'm going to go Sting in the... The thing about this album was, once again, another album, it came out and then, I got it, months later because I was like, oh, At first when I saw it, I thought, oh, is that like a best of? Like, it looked like a greatest hits album. But then when I looked at it, I was like, oh, it's actually an album. And so I got it. It was cheap. And I was pleasantly surprised. Fuck, dude. I just like listened to song after song after song, and I was like, dude, this is like I said, the last two albums that they came out with, it just they went back to the old formula for success, and here you go. Raised on Rock, Stinging the Tail, Slave Me, The Good Die Young, No Limit, Rock Zone, Lorelei. I mean, this album's fuck. It just rolls out of the gate and it's fucking good. And it's fucking Scorpions. So you just like rock Scorpions album, there you go. Just like, you know, when you get a cool AC/DC album, you're like, cool. Same with the Scorpions, man. You just put this on and just fucking rock out to it. You don't have to think too hard. You don't have to fucking like read into it and go, oh, what are they saying about? No, just you put it on. Fuck yeah! So yeah, that's number fucking 8 is Stinging the Tail from 2010. Oh yeah. Number 7. Now we can do it. When I went and saw Yuli not too long ago, a couple years ago now, probably like 3 years ago, like 2018, his singer sang in trance. And I fucking love that song. And so, like, dude, when they started doing that, I was like, oh my god. It starts off with Dark Lady, of course. Dark Lady! And then it goes to I wake up in the morning and the sun begins to shine. The day did sneak up on the night. Close my eyes and I get it now and I get a little taste of wine. Time tasted for a while, but I'm in a trance. And baby, can't you hear me calling? I'm in a trance. Whoa. Fucking love that song. Woo. It's got Top of the Bill. It's a fucking great song. It's got Robot Man, which is a fucking weird song, but it's fucking cool. This was one of the first album covers that really got him into shit, because the original cover is like Yuli's like white strats laying on the ground. This chick's like, and what people didn't really notice is like, oh fuck, her like tits hanging out. Because it was a black and white cover, they just kind of blacked out her tit and then they were okay. But the original cover was like, people were like, oh fuck, that chick's tits hanging out. So one of the first albums where they started to get into trouble with their album covers, and they had to be censored. All right, but In Trance, solid album, and then fucking In Trance, I fucking love that song, so it makes it even more exciting for me. So number 6, we're gonna go Savage. Because after this, they had Crazy World, which went double platinum, but for me, that album was shit, except for Follow Demo Squad down to Gorky Park. My voice is shit today, so Savage Music from 1988. Don't stop at the top, and then it had Rhythm of Love. The Rhythm of Love. It had Passion Rules the Game. Walking on the Edge and Let It Rock, Let It Roll, or We Let It Rock, You Let It Roll. It's a great fucking album. You know, it's classic era, fucking kind of the last of the classic era of fucking Scorpions albums. Saw them on this tour in Monsters of Rock. They were fucking great. It's a fucking cool fucking album. I kind of fell off with Love It First Sting. So I remember when this album came out, like I bought it, but I wasn't like totally into it. It just felt like kind of a continuation of Love It First Sting, but wasn't everything. years later, we've had what? 1988, we've had 33 fucking years to digest this album, so yeah, it's a fucking good one though. One of the last. All right. Number 5, we're gonna go Take. Like I said, this is one of those controversial album covers that got banned, and they had to switch it over to some black picture of the band. It's just two little kids in a cemetery, like playing toy guns with each other. I mean, fuck, go look at the fucking UFO albums. You know, this is, yeah, and this was the one that even Yuli said, like, he was mystified that people were offended by that. I guess kids playing with guns in a cemetery, you know, it kind of pissed people off. So, cool album cover. It's got Steam Rock Fever. It's got Will Burn the Fucking Sky, which is awesome. It's got The Sails of Charon, which is like that go-to fucking, oh, it's such a good song. It's got He's a Woman, She's a Man. Born to Touch Your Feelings is a good song. And then it has fucking, well, my version has, oh, it's Suspender Love, yeah. Riot of Your Time. My version has Polar Nights Live. And I'm like, wait, Polar Nights isn't on this album. This is a fucking solid album, and this would be the final album with Yuli. They would go on the tour, but he told them, like, hey, I'm leaving. So they all knew that he was fucking out the door. So, you know, and of course they came out with the fucking seminal fucking Tokyo. We're gonna go Love Having You Sunday Morning, and then it goes into the fucking phenomenal Another Piece of Meat. Oh, fucking Another Piece of Meat. It's got Coast to Coast, which is a instrumental. It's fucking awesome, and it's got Love Drive, of course. It's a love drive on wheels of fire. Love drive for one desire. Love. Drive me crazy, babe. It's got you far away. You'd like a holiday. Let me take you far away. My absolute fucking favorite fucking Scorpion songs ever. Fucking Holiday. Those are basically the songs that fucking Michael Schenker wrote. So, let's check it out. So, like, yeah. So Michael wrote Coast to Coast. And Michael wrote Holiday. Only gets credit for 2 songs on this album, but I think that's bullshit, and we all can look at Rudy Schenker and be like, right, because Michael even said, even on fucking Love Drive, the fucking Rudy fucking ripped off a bunch of his, like most of those songs he fucking wrote, so. But Herman Rarebell did write the fucking lyrics to Another Piece of Meat. Love Drive is that first fucking Scorpions album. It's on fucking Mercury. They got the fuck away from MCA, which wasn't doing shit for them. And they got onto fucking Mercury, and that's where they started, like, becoming popular in America. It has that fucking Hypnosis cover where the guy's sitting in the car and he's reached over and he's got that. And you're just like, what the fuck? That got banned. They like to do fucking outrageous album covers that got them into trouble, and then they would have to go and change. Like, no one gave a fuck, but here in America, people were a little more uptight back in the fucking 70s and 80s. They were, like, not fucking putting up with that shit, so. That's it. This fucking Love Drive is number 4. Number 3, These top 3 albums was tough. The back half of these albums was tough because like some of them I don't give a fuck about, but like up to probably like the top 10, maybe the top 8, or at least the top 7 are just like was tough. I'm gonna go Blackout. First I was like, wait, I like Blackout more. No, I actually don't. I always rate all my songs, so I look at it and I say, well, wait, what's got the more higher rated songs? Well, the other 2 albums that are in this list. But Blackout is a fucking statement album. It is. I remember when Blackout came out. This was the album that we all got into the fucking Scorpions. We weren't buying fucking Love Drive. We were fucking 9. I was 9 fucking years old when Love Drive came out, and then I was like 10 when fucking Animal Magnetism came out. So I was 12, almost 13 when this album came out, and this was the album that fucking, you heard these songs on the radio. So this is to me, it's a nostalgic album. It's got some spots on it that I don't give a fuck about, but it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the 9 songs on here are fucking amazing. And then the other 4 songs, they're cool. It's got fucking Blackout! I really want to black out! Jesus. It's got Can't Live Without You. It's got No One Like You. Sometimes with you, I keep dreaming. I don't know the fucking words to it. It's got You Give Me All I Need. It's got Dynamite. I'm Dynamite. Those are the 5 amazing songs. And then it's got Now. It's got Arizona. It's got China White. And it's got When the Smoke Is Going Down. This fucking album, it's got that fucking album cover with the guy with not. What the fuck's that guy's name? Blackout! I really got a blackout! What the fuck is his name? It's a self-portrait of artist Gottfried Heinlein. And it says Rudolf Schenker portrays the character in the No One Like You. But everybody saw that picture and they were like, that's fucking Rudy Schenker with forks in his eyes. Gottfried Heinlein. Woo. This album's fucking great. I mean, it's fucking number 3. I mean, anything in the top 10 is fucking great, but Blackout. All right, so number 2. Number 2, we're going to go 1977. It's got Picture Live from yesterday into the rock. 2 balls every day into the rock. Now, it's funny because most of the time, like, you have to look up the lyrics to see what the fuck Klaus was saying. It's got Picture Live. It's got Catcher Train. It's got In Your Park. It's got Backstage Queen. It's got Virgin Killer. It's got Hellcat, which is a fucking great song. It's got Polar Night. Crying Days is alright. Hellcat, the thing with Hellcat, the thing when Yuli sang, I bought this album, and I remember, like, Yuli's Hellcat! But it was funny because he did Hellcat when we went and saw him. And now it's like, oh yeah, it's cool. Back then I was like, Hellcat! Hellcat! Wow, wow. Oh, but some of the fucking guitar work on this album is absolutely fucking phenomenal. And then the songs are just fucking great. But the problem with this album was 2 things. 1, MCA wasn't really backing the Scorpions in America, so nobody gave a fuck. And 2, when you put a picture of a naked, like, 11-year-old girl on the cover of your album, and then you put a little crack where her junk is, and then you call the album Virgin Killer. Even Yuli said that this was a misstep. This album got, like, actually put on, like, as child pornography or some shit like that. Wasn't a good fucking thing. Even though, like, if people try to defend it, like, the guy who took the picture was, like, his daughter, and, like, there was people there, and, like, they try and defend it and say, well, like, no, it's totally cool. Even the chick that is on the album cover, she was like, everything was cool. It wasn't, like, construed as, like, rapey, kind of weird, you know. But the thing is that German people have a different view than we American people have, and a lot of the rest of the world apparently. But that I don't understand who thought that album cover was gonna fly. It got fucking banned every fucking where. In fact, there was a while where they wouldn't even show it on Wikipedia because it was like when they put it up there, like. They got fucking tagged as fucking kitty porn and fucking, you know, all this fucking legal shit jumped down on whoever the fuck posted it, and people like freaked the fuck out. Now, like, people, you know, it's on there. I remember, like, I don't think the copy that I had that cover. Might have. I can't remember. It might have just had the band shot that was like the alternate. But I remember seeing that, you know, as a kid, like, you know, somebody had it, like a cassette or something of it. But anyways, um, and then the band tried to be like, well, if you listen to the song Virgin Killer, it's not about, like, Virgin Killer is like time, and that's the killer. And if you listen to the lyrics, you know, you're like, it's not even about that. It's about time is the Virgin Killer. It kills everything. And it's like, well, dude, you know, you open that fucking can of worms, and now you got to backtrack and try and explain yourself when you shouldn't have done it in the fucking first place. So they called the album something else, picked another. You could have called it Backstage Queen and then put something else on the cover. You could have done whatever the fuck you wanted, but you picked the song Virgin Killer as the title track, and then you slapped a little naked girl, a little prepubescent fucking naked girl on the cover with a crack where her fucking hooter is, and then you're just like, and you called it Virgin Killer. Oh, how the fuck did you think people were going to fucking react to that? I mean, and like I said, even Yuli said, yeah, that was a misstep. We should have never done that. I'm embarrassed that we fucking did that. That was fucking not a good thing. So, but the album is fucking phenomenal. So it had all that fucking bad shit about it, but at the same time, it's a great fucking album. I love that fucking album. I listened to it a million fucking times. And of course, obviously, out of any of the Yuli John Ross shit, that was my favorite fucking album and my go-to album. It still is today. I'll fucking put it on. It's fucking great. I love that album. So, Virgin Killer number 2, which leads us to number 1. No shocker there. A lot of people would, you know, say, "Oh, now Blackout." I thought the same thing, but then I looked at the song listing and I'm like, I just like more fucking songs off this album. 1980. The reason why is because, fuck, I was 14 when this album came out. This album was huge. I had the original cover, which was the Helmut Newton picture, and the chick's making out with the dude, and he's putting a little tattoo on her thigh, and her tits hanging out. All the other little wastoid kids, you know, they got the little lame original. I remember my mom seeing that and going, "What the fuck?" Mom, it's art. It's Helmut Newton. He's the one that took that picture of David Lee Roth chained to a fucking in the middle of fucking, you know, and women and children first, you know. This album was monstrous for us. And, dude, I listened to this album a million times. I still listen to it, and I still love it. People can say Left Drive, and they can say, you know, whatever the fuck they want to say. But for me, this is the album that just fucking cemented fucking Scorpions in my brain for the rest of my life. Um, and I fucking love it. It's got Bad Boys Are in Wild. And you don't get, or you better get out of their way, or whatever the fuck. It's got Rock You Like a Fucking Hurricane. Heard a billion fucking times, but it's still fucking awesome. I remember when the video, when you're listening to the, because you know, half the time you didn't understand what the fuck Klaus was saying because he's got this thick German accent. So I remember he was like, the bitch is hungry, she needs to kill. So give her inches and feed her well. Dude, in the song, you were like, what did he just say? And then you looked it up, you're like, oh. Give her inches and feed her well. It's got I'm loving you. Oh no, it's got I'm leaving you. I'm leaving you? I'm leaving you. Yeah, it's got I'm leaving you. I'm leaving you. It's got coming home. You know, that was the fucking video. Oh my god. It's got boop, 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 boop. Oh, it's got Coming Home. It's got The Same Thrill. It's a fucking great song. It's got Big City Nights. No. It's got Crossfire. It's got Still Loving You. I'm still loving you. Oh. And the one song that everybody forgets about, As Soon as the Good Times Roll. That's it. That's my fucking Scorpions list. That fucking album rolled out of the gate. It was huge. It had videos on MTV. It was just like one of those albums that you're just like, holy fucking shit. I love that fucking album. It was solid through and through. There's not really a bad song on it. And as much as I fucking love Blackout, I think Blackout had a couple of songs on it where I was like, meh, they're all right. But that was my list, my Scorpions list. Moment of Glory was number 19. Number 18 was Pure Instinct. 17, Face the Heat. 16, Crazy World. The fucking Winds of Change. I can't sing today. Number 15 is Unbreakable. Number 14 is the fucking mind-bending Eye to Eye. Number 13 is Fly to the Rainbow with Speed is Coming. Number 12 is Return to Forever. Number 11 is Humanity Hour 1. Number 10 is Lonesome Crow. Number 9 is Animal Magnetism. Number 8 is Sting in the Tail. Number 7 is And I'm in a Trance. Baby, can't you hear me calling? I'm in a trance. Number 6 is Savage Amusement. Number 5 is Taken by Force. Number 4, Love Jam on Wheel the Fire. And then number 3 is Blackout. I really had a blackout. Number 2, Virgin Killer. And number 1, Love It for Sting. I have a fuck ton of fucking live albums. Not a fuck ton, but the only 2 live albums you really ever need from the Scorpions is fucking from 1978. That's fucking amazing. And get the extended version because it has like, you know, some added shit on there. But that is fucking amazing. And then if you just have those 2 fucking live albums, that's all you need. You don't need anything else. Worldwide Live, Tokyo Tapes. Now I have like live. I don't even know. It's from 1995, so should be on the Face the Heat tour. Moment of Glory. No, what is the other one? I had the US Festival show, which is cool. Where they did No One Like You, The Zoo, Can't Get Enough. That was it. They did 3 fucking songs. Wow. 2001 Acoustica. They do Dust in the Wind. Wow. Catch Your Train. Wow. Hurricane 2001. I don't know how many times they could redo Hurricane. Acoustica Live. That's a fucking interesting one. What else do I got here? Because I know I have the. Fuck, I think that's it. The best of rockers and ballads. I can't explain. That's where they do the fucking or the fucking Who tune, right? Can't explain. What album was that on? I don't even think that was on an album. That was the only reason to get Best of Rockers and Ballads, because it had I Can't Explain from the Who. That's fucking it, basically. I mean, that's all the fucking Scorpions that I have. Fuck, go listen to some Scorpions today. If you're bored, you got fucking nothing to do, go listen to the fucking Scorpions. Yeah! Fucking hey, we'll see what happens. They're coming out with another album. Like I said, next year in February. So it won't be anything like mind blowing, but it might be fun to listen to. It just might be getting kind of tired, But fuck it. It's cool, like in these weird times that we live in where weird shit's going on, it's cool to have that little lifeline where you could fucking grasp something like the AC/DC album that came out. Like, people are shitting on that new Iron Maiden album, but it's all right. KK's Priest, I got the new. It's not new because I think it came out in July, but I got the new Dee Snider album. Maybe I'll review that next. What's that called? What is that Dee Snider album called? This is like the downtime. Burn out down and down and down. Leave a album too. Maybe I'll review those two. Leave a Scar and Parabellum from Yngwie Malmsteen. Well, that's all I got for you today. Everybody out there, stay metal! Yeah!